You know, Mr. President, a few weeks ago, the Obama administration essentially declared that it had met its goals of fixing the Obamacare website. And with the website fixed, they led us to assume that Obamacare was fixed as well. But that was never true. As I've been saying all along, the problems here are much, much bigger than a website. And even the administration's claims about the website have been exaggerated. Recent news reports suggest that many Americans who thought they had enrolled on the exchanges will find that they do not in fact have coverage on January 1st, largely as a result of lingering problems with the site. An even larger problem lies with the coverage options folks are actually finding if they manage to make it through the website. For folks patient enough to successfully navigate through healthcare.gov, many are finding that Obamacare offers higher premiums, higher costs, or deductibles, sometimes all three, in exchange for coverage that is, in many cases, inferior to what they had before. Fewer choices, restricted hospital networks, losing doctors our constituents know and trust. That's what many are getting in exchange for higher costs and skyrocketing premiums, even after the president promised that Obamacare would, quote, cut costs and make coverage more affordable for families and for small businesses, end quote. Despite the president's serial pledges to the contrary, the government's own studies on this issue now indicate that Obamacare will actually increase the cost of health care in America by more than $620 billion. Obamacare will actually increase the cost of health care in America by more than $620 billion. As one California woman recently put it, for her, Obamacare has meant being forced into lower coverage for more money. Many Kentuckians feel exactly the same way. Giselle Martino is a constituent of mine from Prospect, Kentucky. Here's what she recently wrote to me after losing her coverage. I paid a very high premium to have a major medical plan. I'm now forced into the exchange for a lesser plan with more exclusions and higher deductibles. I will most likely never reach those deductibles. How does this help me? I'm basically paying into the plan for the others. If I must pay for my higher tier heart drugs anyway, why should I bother with the health plan? What a disappointment this administration has caused. Higher costs and less care, that's what Obamacare means for Giselle Martino. Obamacare has been a disappointment for Mike Kahn from Prestonsburg, too. Here's what he had to say about this law. A policy that has similar coverage to what we had would cost us around $1,100 a month. That's a 100% increase for me and my wife. I was informed by the individual that was helping me find coverage that it was because we live in Eastern Kentucky. Mike said his plan is no longer available in that part of the state, and now he's evidently facing a 100% increase in cost because of where he lives. A 100% increase in cost because of where he lives. It's not fair. Mike and Giselle both have every right to be upset. But that's the reality of Obamacare for too many Kentuckians, a state where 280,000 people have already lost the coverage they had because of this law. It's a reality facing millions of Americans across our country. And when the White House was asked today if they were confident that the millions of Americans with canceled policies would be able to sign up for new insurance before January 1st, they couldn't give a straight answer. That's why Republicans are going to maintain our focus where it belongs, on the people we represent, on the issues that truly matter to them. Because our constituents understand that Obamacare is about so much more than just a website. The administration needs to start understanding that too. Fixing a few lines of code isn't going to help people keep the plans they like, plans that work for their families. It isn't going to help our constituents afford the law's exorbitant premiums and deductibles. It isn't going to help our constituents cope with fewer choices and lower quality of care. These are the things that actually matter to the middle class. So the administration and its allies in Congress can talk until they're hoarse about a website, or about nominees, or about whatever else they think they can say to distract Americans from the failures of this law, but that ain't going to work. And to the millions of Americans suffering under Obamacare, you should know that Republicans are on your side. We're going to keep fighting for true health reform that lowers costs, for reform that promotes choice and a better quality of care. And we're going to keep fighting against the idea that government knows better than you do when it comes to your family's health care. That's what our constituents expect of us. I know it's what Kentuckians expect, and that's just what Republicans are going to continue to do.